ties in with the talk for this morning. So welcome to the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. We are delighted that you have joined us here in the center, those who are joining us via Zoom, those who are part of our extended Facebook and YouTube families. Know that you are welcome, that you are loved, and that you are appreciated here at the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. We begin our May series today, and the title for this series is Raise Your Voice. And during this series, we will explore the profound impact of self-advocacy, boundary setting, and conflict resolution on our personal and collective well-being. Today, our series begins with the talk titled Confidence Unleashed, the Art of Self-Advocacy. And here we're emphasizing the importance of speaking up with clarity and strength across all aspects of our lives. There's an article that caught my attention this week that I want to share with you. This past week, scientists using NASA's James Webb Science Space Telescope caught the world's attention with a remarkable discovery that might point to life on another planet. Some of you may have seen this article. The planet in question is K2-18b, a watery world around 120 light years away in the constellation Leo. So a shout out, a high five to all of the Leos. We have a constellation, yay. This constellation, this planet, is described as not too hot and not too cold. And it orbits around what is known as a habitable space in the cosmic atmosphere, a sweet spot where life could possibly exist. Now, what makes this discovery exciting is that researchers found evidence of certain molecules in the planet's atmosphere that represent organisms like those here on Earth that are only produced by living organisms. So there's some evidence that the possibility of life is there. And while this is not proof of life, it is enough to make scientists lean forward in their seats. The planet is possibly covered in oceans with hydrogen-rich atmosphere, but researchers are cautious. The data isn't yet definitive. However, this may be our strongest hint that life in some form may not be unique to Earth. And so the spiritual insights gained from this was there is something moving about the possibility of life beyond Earth. When we gaze into the sky, we're not merely looking into space. We're looking into the vastness of God's creation, a universe so immense and intricate that even now we're only beginning to get glimpses of its fullness. The possible discovery of life, no matter how small or how distant, invites us to expand our understanding of what is sacred. If life exists 124 light years away, then the spirit that animates our breath may also be stirring in the oceans that we have never touched, underneath the stars that we have never named. We allow this news to renew our sense of awe and remind us that creation is still unfolding. The same presence that formed Earth, first seas might be calling forth life elsewhere. In every discovery, we are participants in the unfolding wonder. And another thing that resonated with me about this story about the possibility of life on another planet, it really speaks to the unfound statements, I would say, of those who are end of world advocates. It's like, this is it. There's nothing beyond planet Earth. And when planet Earth is destroyed by the great destroyer, then that's the end of it. We in New Thought, we in spiritual community know that there is a different vision, that there is life after life, that life continues, that life has no real beginning and it has no real ending. It is just one continuous experience that takes on different forms. A great teacher of mine reminded me that in many of our spiritual communities and a lot of our science of mind communities, for someone who might be new, they wouldn't know that we're a science of mind community because we don't really reference Ernest Holmes, our founder, until halfway through our talk. And I usually do it closer to the beginning, but this story really resonated with me. And I think it's a perfect segue into our time together this morning, Confidence Unleashed, the Art of Self-Advocacy, emphasizing the importance of speaking with clarity and strength across all of the aspects of our lives. And so Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, wrote this in our Science of Mind textbook on page 57. The greatest good that can come to anyone is the forming of an absolute certainty of themselves and their relationship in the universe, and their relationship to the universe, forever remaining in a state of calm. And this principle, the greatest use of good, underscores the power of affirming our inherent worth and infinite potential. And we reinforce our truth as manifestations of the universal mind. There is only one thing happening here, and each one of us is an individualized representation of the universal mind in action. And I want to share a reading with you from Zen teacher Roshi Joan Halifax that I believe speaks to our topic this morning about confidence unleashed and the art of self-advocacy. And she writes, all too often, our so-called strength comes from fear, not love. Instead of having a strong back, many of us have a defended front and a shielding weak spine. We have this defended front that is shielding a weak spine. In other words, we walk around brittle and defensive, trying to conceal our lack of confidence. And if we strengthen our backs, metaphorically speaking, and develop a spine that is flexible but sturdy, then we can risk having a front that is soft and open. How can we give and accept care with a strong back, soft front, compassion, moving past fear to a place of genuine tenderness, she asked. I believe it comes when we can be truly transparent, seeing the world clearly and letting the world see us as we are. Self-confidence and self-advocacy extend beyond asserting personal rights. They are expressions of our true divine nature. Self-advocacy is more than a skilled approach and practiced in the silence or solitude. It is a spiritual practice. It is a divine impulse to bring love where there is hate, hope where there is despair, and light where there is shadow. We're called to advocate for the voiceless, both human and non-human, who live in situations where they cannot speak for themselves. And we find this direction from Scripture if we read Proverbs 31:8. And it says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of those who are destitute. And this, I submit to you this morning, is our responsibility as stewards of the earth. Confidence and self-advocacy are aligned with the power of thought and belief. Our thoughts and beliefs are essential tools for stepping into reality. Science of Mind teaches that life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what the thinker thinks into it. And I'm reminded of that Rodin sculpture of the thinker, one of my favorite art pieces. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what the thinker thinks into it. And this principle highlights how our beliefs about ourselves directly shape our experiences. Our thoughts and beliefs reinforce the value of consciously shaping our inner dialogue. So it's a reminder that we control the inner dialogue. We control our self-talk. We control our thoughts. And so engaging in spiritual practices, we harmonize our inner beliefs with the creative laws of the universe. Our meditation and prayer practices can strengthen our connection to our inner divinity, enhancing our ability to advocate for ourselves, reframing negative thoughts, building confidence, and ensuring our self-advocacy reflects our true potential. And by doing so, we recognize and honor our divine nature. In Chapter 8 of the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes teaches, the power of God is within each of us. This is the divine authority which should be recognized and inspire every thought, act, and purpose. And so this principle of the power within underscores that we are expressions of the divine, endowed with inherent worth and potential. And this is something that we say to you 52 weeks out of the year in different forms and in different ways, with the intention that we get this, that we collective, the collective we, get this, that we are expressions of the divine, and that we are endowed with inherent worth and potential. And like the discovery of the possibility of life on another planet, that potential for growth, that potential for expansion, that potential for recognizing a part of ourselves that is our greater yet to be, that potential is within us. Recognizing our divine nature is crucial for effective self-advocacy. When we express the divine whole within us, we are empowered to speak up confidently, knowing that a higher power supports us. We recognize the infinite and immense creative power of our thoughts, our beliefs, and our words. Aligning with universal laws through self-advocacy allows us to recognize that the power of our word aligns with us through the creative law of the universe and manifest our thoughts and intentions into reality. When we advocate for ourselves with clarity and conviction, we tap into the universe's creative power, helping bring our goals into fruition. And an example of this that comes to mind is our practice of spiritual mind treatment, or our affirmative prayer technique, which consists of 5 steps. The first step is recognizing that there is a power for good in the universe and that we can use it. And the second step is unification, recognizing that I am one with this power. It is that which lives and expresses itself through me. And the third step is where we speak and align ourselves with the universal law. And that third step says, I speak my word, I declare, I know. And whatever it is that follows that, we declare with the affirmative knowing that it will manifest in our lives. Now, the manifestation may not be immediately, or we may not see it immediately, but the change is taking place. You know, there's something on the inside that is churning and bringing this into the demonstration in our lives. And so employing our spiritual techniques such as visioning, setting clear intentions, and practicing assertive communication, we align our self-advocacy with universal principles. And this is the key in this whole process of advocating for ourselves. We're continually aligning ourselves with universal principles. And this is why we really encourage spiritual practices to support us in identifying and being one with these universal principles. This alignment enhances our ability to manifest positive outcomes and to realize our full potential. And so I wrap this up this morning with a call to action. And that call to action is to remember that we connect with our divine desire and we let it guide us in advocating for ourselves with authenticity and strength. And we do this with a gentle, loving kindness. We don't go in it with a steamroller. We're gonna roll everything that is in opposition to us. No, the practice is to be still, to go within, and to allow the universal presence to reveal through us and as us how it is that we express ourselves in loving kindness, how we express ourselves as the strength of God that is ours to use at all times, in every moment, everywhere, and in every place. We align our actions with the creative power of the universe, and we watch our intentions transform into reality. Self-advocacy then becomes the creative power of the universe, honoring the divine within, fostering our personal growth, empowerment, and realizing our deepest aspirations. And so we raise our voice in unity and in oneness, advocating for a life that works for everyone exactly where they are. Let us say together now our affirmation for the week, and we will say this 2 times. I confidently speak my truth and advocate for myself with clarity and strength. I confidently speak my truth and advocate for myself with clarity and strength. And I invite us to pray together as we just turn within, knowing that there is a divine presence, there's divine good in the universe, there's a power that is ours to use. And we use that power intentionally with grace. We begin by giving ourselves grace, knowing that the life of God is absolutely all that there is. And speaking in first person, I declare and I know that this life is my life right here and right now. And I declare and know that it is the life of everyone present everywhere, in all forms, in all degrees, however the expression of life shows up. It is God happening. And so I speak my word this morning, declaring that as I advocate for myself and as I advocate for those who do not have a voice to advocate for themselves, that I am speaking truth into those places where there is darkness, that I am speaking light into those places where love prevails. And so I'm calling forth the love, I'm calling forth the faith, I'm calling forth the grace, I'm calling forth the compassion that is within each one to live a life of grace and wholeness. And so in advocating for myself, I speak my word knowing that each one advocates for a life of joy and fullness and completeness. And when I speak my word for myself, I am including all of those who are hearing this word right here and right now, in whatever time and space dimension it is being heard. And so I'm knowing that the truth known in any place is the truth that is known in every place. And that as we walk in alignment with each other, walk in alignment with spirit, walk in alignment with the joy of living, that we walk whole, perfect, and complete in the mind of this infinite intelligence. I speak my word affirming the truth for those who are gathering in the name and nature of love, the name and nature of life, and the name and nature of wholeness. And to those points along the journey where our lives intersect, those intersections and points of contact are where we advocate for love. We advocate for truth. We advocate for right living. We advocate for that which is for the highest and best of all concerned. And I speak my word this morning, speaking peace into the hearts of those who are experiencing transitions in their lives. However those transitions may be showing up, we know that as we move through these transitions, that memories support us, memories sustain us, memories hold us in those tender places. And those memories are, God is, and all is well. And so for this and so much more, I am eternally grateful. Releasing this word into that law, which always says yes. I know it is done, and I allow it to be. And if anything that I have said resonates with you in any way, please affirm it with me by saying, and so it is. And so it is. And just a reminder, for those of you who are here in the center, we do have a prayer box. And we have treatment requests available for you to complete and put in the prayer box so that our ministers and practitioners can pray with you and pray for you. And the prayer, I remind you, is not always for something that may appear to be going wrong or not working. The prayer can also be that of gratitude. And so let us support you in all of the phases of life, because it's all working together for our highest. And now it is time to participate in the flow of circulation, also known as our gracious giving. We have a statement of abundance that will be on our screen, and I invite you to say that with me. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And so there are various ways that you can contribute to our center. We have a greeter that will pass the basket here in the center. You may also donate online to our website, montereycsl.org. You may mail in your donations to our physical address, 400 West Franklin Street, Monterey, California. And you may also text to give at 831-246-9694. And we're continually grateful for the way that you support our spiritual community and allow us to continue to spread this word, the good news that God is love and that all is well. Today, following service, we will have our Science of Mind book study. For those of you who are here in the center, or those of you who may be nearby and would like to come and join us in person, it is from 11:45 to 12:30 here in the Sunshine Room. We invite our virtual community in Facebook and YouTube to to read our monthly newsletter, and you can find this on our website, montereycsl.org, for a listing of our weekly and monthly activities and celebrations that are taking place here in the center. And for those of you who may be traveling into the Monterey area, we invite you to have the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living as one of your destination stops. We would love to see you and share our beautiful space and our love with you. And so we say good morning to our Facebook and YouTube community, and we invite you to join us next week as we move into part 2 of our May series, Boundary Keepers, Nurturing Healthy Connections. And we will look at the importance of setting boundaries in all areas of life, from personal relationships to work environments and social interactions. And know that we love you, we appreciate you, and we thank God for you.